Hey guys, what's going on? We're back. I know it's been a while. That being said, Happy New Year. It's January 6th, 2025. It's Monday at 5:07. And I just got out of the office. As always, I hope you guys are doing well and are having or had a good end to 2024 and are already off to a good start in 2025. And so this is my first video back from my vacation. I know if you saw the last video I made, I did announce that I would be off from work for the next 2 weeks. And, because of that, you wouldn't be getting any of these, driving home from the office, little car talk videos. And so if you missed me, I apologize, but I'm back. And yeah, it's very nice to be back. It was definitely a nice break for sure, just not only being away from work in the office and just having time, to myself to do with what I saw best fit. But I am genuinely very excited to not only be back in the office, but making one of these videos again. It feels good. I did miss it, so glad to be back. It was a successful vacation at that. But yeah, it has been 2 weeks, and felt a little rusty, if you want to call it that, coming back to the office for the first time. Had to kind of remind myself how to do everything I had to do today and make sure to do it the right way. I have the same kind of feeling that this is going to be the same vibe with this video. A little de-rust video, have some fun, tell a story, learn some lessons, and all good stuff. So again, happy to be back, and looking forward to not only this video but everything else that's it's come with all this. I know recently the channel's been growing so much, and I'm so happy to see it. I know last time I checked, we're getting real close to 300 subscribers, which to me is just crazy that there's 300 people out there, and the majority of them I've never had the privilege to meet, and I'm unsure if I ever will have the privilege to meet them. But just knowing that there's a lot of people out there that even though I've never met them, I've never seen them, and I might never get a chance to meet them or see them, but just knowing that they're out there and that they're supporting me, they're sending me good vibes, and they believe in me, and they like what I put out there, and they want me to succeed in all this. It's a really cool feeling, and it just really solidifies why I do everything in the first place. And I'm always just so appreciative, but especially like thinking about that kind of stuff, it really just kind of amplifies it all. And I'm just so grateful for everything, and just really grateful for everything that's to come as well. As this channel grows more and more and everything gets better and better, for this channel, my own personal life, and as well as the personal lives of you guys as well. Just really grateful and really looking forward to everything to come. I know it's all going to be good stuff. So, with that in mind, just as always, be expecting good things to come. Exciting things are going to be happening in the future, and yeah, just can't wait for it all to unfold. Of course, being present in the moment and being fully appreciative and present in the moment, but also at the same time, looking back in the past and smiling, and looking ahead in the future and smiling as well. not staying there too long, but every time I do kind of dip a toe into those waters, it's all just good stuff. But as always, just being grounded in the here and the now, and living my life accordingly. So what are we going to talk about today? Today we're going to talk about, there's a few things that I think would be good to talk with you guys about today, if you wouldn't mind listening to me. There are a few things that I spend a lot of time kind of thinking about and trying to familiarize myself with during my vacation. And I think it would be good to talk about one of those things that I've been kind of chewing on for the past 2-ish weeks, is the topic of consciousness. Because I think it, not only connects a lot to one of the main messages that I try to spread as often and as effectively as I can, which is, realizing and leveraging and growing, and strengthening the power of your mind. A big part of that is, the topic of consciousness. And to be totally truthful with you guys, up until recently, even though I was, vaguely familiar with the word consciousness and kind of the topic of consciousness in of itself, I didn't really know what it meant. I knew at a very basic level what it was, and I knew that, at a very basic level it related a lot to, the power of the mind and everything that comes with that. But I never really fully understood it. And I think it's very important to understand it, again, because it's such a big part of it. And so it's been something that I've been chewing on the past few weeks, and, just exposing myself to and trying to learn more and more about. And I feel like it's gotten to the point where I'm ready to start kind of sharing my thoughts and my thinking surrounding, the topic of consciousness with you guys. I don't want to go too deep into it because, again, I'm still learning a lot, and again, this is all still very new to me. It can definitely be something that, I talk about more and more as my understanding to it solidifies more and more. But I at least want to kind of toss out this introduction to it, both for my sake and for your guys' sake as well. So when thinking about consciousness, and again, you can go very easily down a rabbit hole concerning this topic, but at a very basic level, to my understanding, consciousness is pretty much your awareness of yourself and the world around you. You being conscious of yourself and the world around you. That's kind of my very basic definition of consciousness in my eyes. And the way that consciousness, again, from a very beginner's level, relates to the power of the mind is to first harness the power and use and leverage the power of your mind. You must first become aware, and you must first become conscious of your mind and the power of it. Some chaos happening around me. And kind of bridging the gap a little more by becoming more conscious and more aware of yourself, the world around you, and the power of your mind. For me, and I'm sure if others are familiar with the subject, they would likely agree with me that building your consciousness and growing and expanding your consciousness first begins with simply being conscious of things like, again, yourself, the world around you, and really for me, most importantly, your thoughts. Being conscious of your thoughts. Because one thing that I think is holding society back the most from, let's say, the growth and expansion of humanity and all the individuals within it. But at the same time, one of the things that we're getting so close to truly figuring out and, again, becoming aware and conscious of is the thoughts that flow around our head on a daily basis. Again, for a lot of people, they're not aware of the thoughts that flow in their head. You know, they simply live life by observing and reacting to everything that happens around them, and really almost being a victim of their thoughts. And, you know, just going back, thoughts are really the most important thing, at least in my eyes, in this whole thing called our life and in our world and ourselves, because, you know, thoughts create feelings, and feelings will create more thoughts, and those additional thoughts will create additional feelings, and that cycle continues. And really what happens is that those reoccurring thoughts and feelings will then turn themselves into beliefs and behaviors and actions. And again, that cycle will continue until you find yourself in a state of being, albeit whether that's a good one or a bad one. In my kind of observation, looking back from in my life, as well as just kind of, again, being aware and conscious of the world around me, is that there's a lot of people, and if you ask me, too many people, but again, I think that's getting better and better with time, but there's a lot of people that aren't aware of the thoughts that flow through their head. And, you know, because we live in a very, albeit dense world on this planet Earth, it's very easy to slip into streams of negative thoughts and negative feelings without noticing. And when that happens, and as time progresses and, you know, you're still unaware of everything, that's how you slip into those resulting, you know, negative actions and ways of being. But again, if you want to reverse that, and you want to improve your current state of being and improve your actions and your emotions and your thoughts, it all starts with becoming conscious first of your thoughts. You know, the thoughts that flow around in your head on a daily basis, every hour, every minute, every second, just trying to pay attention to them more often. And again, it's not always an easy thing at first, of course, because, you know, it's a new thing you're doing, but with all things, as you practice it more and more, it gets easier and easier, and you get better and better, and you become more and more conscious and more aware of your thoughts. And to me, that's really the first step in growing and elevating your consciousness and reaching new levels of consciousness. If you ask me, even though I'm learning more and more about this whole topic of consciousness every day, I think that there's really, people always talk about like levels of consciousness. I think there's really like an infinite level. I don't think there's like a certain number that you can measure as to how many levels of consciousness there are. I really do think that there's an infinite amount of levels of consciousness. And so, with that being said, there's no really goal in mind of, what level of consciousness you should reach in your life. The only goal should be that, you reach the highest level of consciousness possible, before your time here on Earth is, all said and done. I think that's a pretty good goal to have, one that you can't measure, but you still can in a way, if you know what I mean. Like it's like a soft measurement, if that kind of makes sense. Like no number attached to it. The only measurement and the only goal is just growth and maximization. I think that's a pretty good way to kind of look at it and to put it in terms of trying to grow your conscious and reach new levels of it. Yeah, so I think that, for people kind of like myself that are, interested in this whole topic of consciousness and how big of a role it plays in not only their lives, but really everything else, within this universe, consciousness is like a pretty big deal. And when you learn how to grow it and leverage it and really when you just understand everything, it is really what I feel is going to be one of the biggest factors in allowing you to live one of the greatest, or really the greatest life that you can here. And again, it all just starts with, if you want to expand your consciousness and reach new levels and grow your consciousness, it all starts with first becoming conscious of really the sole foundation of everything in your life, which is your thoughts. Being conscious and being aware of the thoughts that flow around in your head every day. And once you're conscious and aware of your thoughts, you can start to kind of manually create and manually allow and deny certain thoughts into your head. Having control over your mind and thus control over your thoughts really is kind of like growing a garden in a lot of ways. You have to plant seeds, you have to make the soil fertile and water those seeds. You also have to, keep out all the weeds and all the bad bugs and parasites and whatever else, whatever else can kind of get in the way and halt any progress or anything like that, have any negative effect. As much as we're the artist of our lives, and the captain of our ships, we are also, just as important, we're also the gardener of our mind and our thoughts. And yeah, so it's just really good to just start from square one. It's really good just to be conscious and to be aware of your thoughts. And, as you practice that more and more and get better and better at it, you move on to higher and deeper levels of consciousness, and from there you just slowly start bringing yourself closer and closer to really the divine and the infinite knowledge that's out there. And you really just become closer and closer as an individual to becoming divine yourself and becoming enlightened, as a lot of people put it. But again, it all just starts with becoming conscious of your thoughts. And consciousness, just to put it as bare bones as I think you can put it, consciousness is simply awareness. Awareness of your thoughts, awareness of yourself, awareness of the world around you, and just awareness of, the universe as a whole, and everything outside of your world as well. It's a pretty cool journey in my eyes, this whole topic. So yeah, I hope that you were able to understand most of what I was saying. I know it's a very confusing topic in the beginning. It definitely was for me, but as you dip your toe more and more into the water and kind of invest yourself into it more and more, and it starts to make more sense, and you can kind of connect all the dots, and from there kind of do what I'm doing, share with others, and in hopes that you grow as an individual, and the people that you're trying to help, that they grow too, and then they branch off and help others, and before you know it, the whole world and all of humanity is growing a bunch. So it's all really cool stuff. I'm gonna have to do a little Yui here. But yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Again, this is always a topic we can come back to, because again, it's a very wide-ranging topic, and again, with the infinite levels there are to consciousness, there's an infinite amount to understand and to learn and to teach to you guys. So I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I guess one last thing that I want to mention is that before I do my little outro is that it's very good knowing and being aware, right? Being conscious of the fact that there's a lot more to life than, just the house and the office. And it's really good for you, to, if you find yourself being trapped in the house, a little much as to what you prefer, or, likewise being trapped in the office a little too much, compared to what you may prefer, just know that there are many, many more places out there in this world alone, other than the house and the office. And I think if you find those places, it really helps to recenter and rebalance yourself, and again allow you to live the best life that you can here. So yeah, just remember that sometimes it may be not just kind of yourself that's getting in the way, but also your environment too. So just remember that, if you find yourself being driven crazy at the house or the office, there are many, many, many other places besides that you can experience and explore and get lost in. So go find those places. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Again, really happy to be back, and really happy to see all the growth and continued growth that will happen with this whole channel, and excited for everything that's to come. And I think that you guys should be too. A lot to look forward to. So if you're a fan of this video and this channel, feel free to subscribe, leave me comments, suggestions, anything you got, let me hear it. And just come along for the ride. I think it's a pretty cool one, and I'm excited to share this journey with you all, because I think that not only it helps me a lot, but again, it can help you guys out a lot too, and it can really I think the limitations for how far this can all go, there are no limitations. It's infinite. I feel that this whole channel and all these messages and whatnot, there's really no limitation and no boundary as to how far it can go and how many people it can help, and how far it can progress even humanity as a whole. So again, looking forward to it all. But yeah, as always, remember that there's a lot more to than you think, and be well until our next video, and we'll talk then. Bye.